everyone. This is Bill again, and today I wanted to talk a bit about the final fifth founding member of the Super G.A.L.S. Her name is Moonbird, and she was the one who was really the most difficult coming off the assembly line. She, Dale and I both had disagreements on who and what we wanted the fifth member to be, and oh boy, it was tough. I mean, if All American Girl was the easy birth, just kind of rolled off the assembly line as is and done, Moonbird was the complete opposite. She was the one who went through several drafts or revisions and a couple of name changes, and we really fought over what her abilities would be. And oh boy, yeah. Eventually, I just kind of turned it over to him. Like, just I guess do what you will, my man. Um, what Dale had originally wanted was for someone to be to have a sonic ability. I know he was a fan of the Black Canary from DC Comics, longtime Justice League member, and so he wanted someone like that sonic vocal ability. I wasn't too keen on that myself. I wanted someone who could shoot lasers. I kind of had like the Dazzler from Marvel Comics in mind. She could convert sound into light. So, she could take background noise going on, and then, like, if she were in the dark, she could make her eyes glow. So, like, kind of be like a human flashlight. Or she could just shoot lasers out of her hands. Routinely, she would make like the finger guns and shoot lasers out of her fingers, like just kind of a cool visual. And she went on to join the X-Men for a while because she's a mutant. And eventually she kind of disappeared. So I don't know where she's at nowadays or anything. But so we each had someone different in mind as like, that starting point. And because we couldn't agree on anything, I was just designing random costumes. I mean, I wasn't even designing a face. I was just making like a mannequin and just doing like different costumes on top of it. I remember one was like a green and yellow costume, and I think there was like a red and blue or something. Boy, I'd have to dig up old artwork if I even still have it. And finally, I came up with her original blue and orange outfit, which there's that blue and orange color scheme, which I had talked about being a fan of in the Butterflies video. And Dale had liked that outfit too. And so finally, because we could not agree on who this Moonbird was or what her abilities would be, we decided just to make her essentially like a non-powered costumed acrobat. Someone like a Daredevil or a Captain America, something like that. And so then he started coming up with her real name, Robin Fields, and he came up with her backstory, which I liked her backstory that he came up with. But by the time we decided that she would be like an acrobat, I had already given her flowing long hair and a long ponytail, which I thought, well, that's not going to make sense for someone who's doing acrobatics, jumping around and fighting and stuff. Like, that hair would get in the way. And so I told him about that, and he was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's like, it's comic books. It's rule of cool. Don't worry about it. So then I was like, well, all right. But I never really liked that look. And so I could never really wrap my head around her. And so when I decided, about, 2 years ago, a little bit more now, to use the Super G.A.L.S, and I was going through the members and everything, I decided I was going to use this opportunity to redesign Moonbird, since I was just never happy with the way she looked or anything. And so what I did was I kind of streamlined her outfit a little bit in terms of just making it easier to draw. Because one thing when you're designing costumes for characters is you got to keep in mind that you're going to be drawing these costumes maybe like 100 different times during an issue, panel by panel, page by page. probably even more if you're talking about a graphic novel. So you always want to simplify these as much as possible. And so I decided that I would give her like billowy sleeves, kind of like a pirate, because I just thought that would kind of give her a, a unique um, silhouette. Because I'm always thinking about silhouettes. You should be able to tell a team apart of all the characters just by seeing their shadows. You shouldn't have to see who everyone is individually. I always call that like the Justice League symbolism. Like who Batman is, who Superman is, who the Green Lantern is, or the Flash, or Hawkman, because of their shadows or their silhouettes. None of them look the same. So I was keeping that in mind, and I also gave her a shorter cape that I kind of tapered off at the ends, so when she like say jumps off of a roof or something, the cape kind of billows out behind her and kind of has like a bird's wings kind of look. I figured that would go in with the Moonbird name, and I thought like it could be made of some sort of material where it's like fireproof and maybe bullet resistant, something like that to kind of give her some defensive measures. And I redesigned the face paint that she wore just to make that a little bit easier for me drawing. And I gave her a haircut. I got rid of the long hair since that was something that always bothered me. And I gave her what I call the anime haircut. It's just a very simple, short do, kind of goes off to the one side. I figured just the way that I put it, it kind of always makes it look like she's in motion, without having that big ponytail flying around everywhere. She serves as the second in command of the group after Enchantra. She's sort of like Enchantra's right hand man, or, well, in this case, right hand woman, or person, or whatever terminology you want to use. She doesn't really have the chance to be in charge just herself much. But in the graphic novel, in Left Far Behind, she is going to have that chance. And there's going to be issues with that. I can't be spoilery here and tell you what happens, but, well, things happen. And not everything's good. So I thought that would be an interesting way to show her, be able to take out of her comfort zone, put her in charge, and then things happen, and then moving forward, going into book 2 and 3 and everything, she's got to deal with that. And so I just thought that'd be interesting, like as far as causing some interpersonal conflicts between some of the other members who either agreed or disagreed with her, and also causing her like self-doubts and wondering, am I doing the right thing, like if I could go back and do things differently, would I, that kind of stuff, the kind of doubts and everything that we all have, really, at least from time to time, right? So I just thought that would kind of give her like the feet of clay, and I found myself really having fun with her in Left Far Behind as I was working on the book, which I didn't think I would. But I guess because of the combination of the costume change and having this direction for her, it just made her a lot more fun to me. And I'm hoping that that'll show through to readers, and I hope that people will like her. Otherwise, she's pretty much like a blank slate. There are a couple of things I could discuss, but again, because of spoilers, I don't want to ruin things. But boy, what can I say? She's an expert hand-to-hand combatant. She is an acrobat. She's very she's someone who's like kind of always in motion in terms of how she moves in fights. She's very physical when she fights, being that she's hand to hand. She doesn't have any sort of like long range abilities to fight people. She's very like in your face in that regards, and she can be that way with her personality too. I mean, she's not gonna just back down from stuff, but she'll stand up for herself certainly, or for her teammates if the situation calls for it. Um, she does wear like a neck, like a carapace. I don't know what you would call it. It's not a necklace, but it kind of like a choker almost wraps around her neck underneath her cape, because her cape just has three like buttons that she could just like take the cape and ditch it if she needs to kind of feel like she wants to free up her arms or something, or she's in some sort of fight situation. And the choker has a device on it which artificially gives her voice a sonic ability. So I gave her that as my way of kind of homaging what Dale had in mind for her. Now, there is a villain called Rebel Yell, and she does have a sonic voiced a power, but hers is natural in her, so she's a lot more powerful at it than Moonbird could be, whose is artificial. But Rebel Yell isn't scheduled to show up for a while yet, but I didn't want to have like multiple people with the exact same powers. But I also wanted Moonbird to have that, like I said, just to kind of tip my hat to Dale there. So I did not get my way in having someone who could shoot lasers. Maybe one of these days. But I think that her redesign, people seem to like it. Anyone that I showed, they all, I didn't hear anything negative from anyone about it. They thought that it gave her a cool, unique appearance. And yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to have some fun redesigning her, and I knew this would be a shorter video, but that was her very painful creation that caused a lot of fighting between us. And hopefully it all was worth it in the end. So I guess we'll find out as the graphic novel eventually would get released. So thanks for listening, and talk to you guys later. Bye.